What's up, world? This is your man, Precise, from Rolling Out.
And this is Jules. Every day is a yay.
Yo, you are here at the FILMFEST, where this is a podcast, Cypher. And we have some amazing guests here. I cannot wait to get into this. Look, the rundown that I just got about both of you,
for real.
I don't know if we have enough time to cover everything. Probably not, but we're going to get you to touch on this. So first of all, we have, you have so many hyphens, I don't know what to call you, so I'm just going to call you the amazing Jervis sitting here with us. Give it up for that. But as a surprise guest, we have the 55th governor, Mr. Paterson here of New York City. How are you today, brother? I'm very good. Yes. Yo, I'm excited about this. We're here at the FILMFEST. How you feeling about it so far?
I think it's exciting. I met Troy Pryor about a year or two ago, and they always wanted you here because I've done so much for America. Most people don't even know my name. And so this is a chance for me to also hear Black America right at the core. You don't really get that chance to meet, people who are aspiring and wanting to be in this business. It's good.
It's interesting that you bring up about all the things that you've done for America. And I want to start on a specific place because we talked a little bit about it before we started. And that's the fact that you actually filmed a documentary at the age of 16?
Well, 14 was when I started.
So are you flexing on me now?
You know what? The thing is, I had a box set called Black to Back.
Okay.
Yes.
Just about 100 years of recorded Black music.
Wow.
And Amy Winehouse took the title. I found my studio. One of my studios used to be in the area where she lived.
Wow.
And anyway, what that was I said that Black American culture is a homogeny of Black culture from the diaspora.
Yes.
But most people don't know that. And it has been truly a gift to the world.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter if you're talking about Aretha Franklin, Otis Redding, Sam Cooke, Laverne Baker, Ella Fitzgerald, Sarah Vaughan, Anita Baker, right up to Beyonce. The music has touched people's lives and soul. And I haven't even begun to talk about hip-hop. But I've been involved with all of them. I'm the living repository of probably about 150 years of Black history here because I knew them when they were alive.
You look so young.
Exactly.
In my 60s.
Okay.
But part of me coming here was also to meet Governor Paterson.
Yeah.
Because I heard about him, and my big thing is about leadership around the world and leadership being our voice in the world.
Yes.
Not just about our condition, but actually we inherit this world too.
Mm-hmm.
And, what are we giving back to the world? That says a lot about us, and that's been predominantly our culture because we've been allowed, and I put that in quotes, to push that out there. And when you look at me, without my shows, you probably wouldn't have hip-hop on mainstream TV as you know it today.
Yeah.
So share those shows when you say your shows.
In the days when Black music could not be played on MTV, and most ABC, CBS, NBC would not put Black artists in prime time unless it was a show they would do. Most people here that I was dealing with back then thought I was a white guy from England because of my accent. In those days, it was telexes and telephones.
Yes.
And the BBC is probably the preeminent broadcaster in the world because it's so big and it's stent listeners. Everybody in the country has to pay a license fee, so it's got quite a lot of money.
Yes.
And Britain was an empire. Don't forget the 13 colonies.
Right.
It was part of Britain. You speak English, which is a global language of trade and history. And so I had to bring the artists to the UK. We have this a lot. With his Public Enemy, Earl Cool J, Roxanne Shante, Eric B. and Rakim, I could go on and on and on. and package those shows and bring them back to America. So if you look at, it takes a nation of millions to hold us back, which is in the Rolling Stones 100 Greatest.
Yes.
And
Yes.
look on there, you see my credit, all those live sections, you're hearing that? My recordings.
That is amazing.
That is amazing. That really just, when you say that, that really is the foundation of hip hop. And to see that you're behind that, I guess my question to you is, what's been your guiding light when it comes to your collaborations?
My guiding light in terms of my collaborations has been focused more on putting purpose to profit. I don't chase profit. I don't chase money. I chase the purpose of why I exist. And I came together with Governor Paterson because I felt that I'm at that point in my life where all that I know, all that I've lived, I don't want it to be lost. And that's why I created the Legacy and Heritage Creative Academy.
So tell us more.
Because, well, legacy means a continuum.
Yes.
That things are passed on, that never gets forgotten. Heritage is something you draw on from the past to empower your future. Remember, the future does not exist until we make it in the present.
And
Period.
We can't make it in the present if we don't know the foundations on which we stand. And that's a collaboration I'm hoping to build with Governor Paterson.
Governor Paterson, why was it important for you to partner with Mr. Jervis over here, a superstar?
Well, first of all, I just found out that Terry is black. I thought. So, I don't see very well. I thought we could someone like Alistair Cook. But seriously, I was brought to Cary by a gentleman named Reggie Mayard who was here.
Yes.
And in just the ideas and just his accomplishments are so stunning that they should be known around the world.
Yes.
And particularly based on where he was and what he had to work with at those particular times. And so particularly his work on preserving the memory of the pilots of the Caribbean is really important because nobody knew that during World War II, countries like Jamaica and Barbados and they got together and sent their best flyers into that region and in many ways preserved the United States, who probably could care less about that, but they did something for the whole world. And these are the types of things that Terry works on, and I'm really excited about helping.
Definitely. Terry, why is it important for you to go along with
Have you heard of Clarence Stable?
I have, yes.
Right. So Clarence was a very good friend of mine.
Yes.
And spoke me every day for 35 years. When Clarence had Taboo Records, he had an artist called Alexander Avila and a woman by the name Charette.
Okay.
They could not get the TV coverage, and Clarence's label was faltering, and he needed to boost sales. And saw some white guys. There was a show called Top of the Pops in the UK.
Yes.
Big show. And he was asking who's the boss. He wanted to talk to the boss to get the artists on the show. And they said, well, it's him. And he looked and he saw me. And I couldn't believe, that time I was probably about 28, 20. And then he came up to me, and if you know Clarence, I'm going to say it in the most polite way. Somebody told me that you are the one that is in command. How can you be? How did you feel at that moment? I said, who's this guy? At that moment, I said, yeah, I'm the guy in charge. But anyway, the short part of the story is that I ended up putting them on prime time, breaking the record internationally, went #1, saved Clarence's label. The label got bought by, I think it was Universal. And Clarence then was hired to become the chairman of Motown.
Wow.
And then he spoke to a guy called Gerald Busby at the time, who was part of Boston Venture, the venture capitalist firm, and what was NCA Records, that bought Motown, and a woman by the name of Karen Sherlock, and they asked me to come and help build Motown International, I ended up with being the first record label that Motown had internationally. So I was a Motown executive. And I did Stevie Wonder's first ever digital concerts at the Temptations, launching Johnny Gill as a solo artist on Motown, and various Motown into rap. And then signed Boyz II Men, helped them to sign Boyz II Men. And we took everybody to Jamaica and did Motown 30. So Susan DePass, I met her and talked about, we needed something beyond Motown 25, so Motown doesn't get forgotten. And then I did Motown 30 in Jamaica.
Were you there for Motown 25?
I wasn't here in the US. But,
Yeah, because that's an iconic.
yeah.
The moonwalking system.
Yeah. But I ended up directing and producing some of Michael Jackson's concerts for television.
Yeah, that is amazing.
That is, you're a living legend. Literally. My question, as you were like going through your journey, was there ever a moment where you're like, hey, I'm seeing the impacts of what I'm doing? Because you're bringing our culture globally and you're breaking Black feelings. Like, when did you start to recognize, hey, like, I'm making history here, or what I'm doing is impacting?
I never focused on myself, so I never actually asked myself or said to myself that I'm making history. I always focused on the subject of what it was that I wanted to achieve.
Yeah.
Not for me, but it's always about in my profession, and I think what gets lost is in a narcissistic culture, everything's about self-promotion and about I am the big I am. I'm just a tool. And I chose not to be in front of the camera because my skills were mainly behind the camera.
Yeah.
And also, there are a lot of people out there whose voices can't be heard. And if I've got the power and the ability to make those without a voice heard, then also I've got to do that. But I also have to teach people the economics of that. Is that freedom is not free.
Yes.
It's not.
Freedom comes at pricing. We all pay the price for freedom, and some people, like with the Paterson, the Caribbean, and Tuskegee Airmen, and some things I'm working on with Governor Paterson, have paid the price for us.
Yeah.
And I knew them. I'm in living memory of them. So I never reflect on myself. I look at the things that I do and the impact it will have on others. So I was at Facebook headquarters once.
Yeah.
This is a couple of years ago. Reggie came with me. And Mark Zuckerberg, Sheryl Sandberg, they were all there. And they were asking me to really join Facebook. I could get my numbers up, this and that. Because I've had 4.5 billion people around the world see something I've made.
Wow.
And always you.
4.5 billion.
Facebook were actually
Would have been.
Wow.
But I don't think it wasn't important to me that 2.7 billion people on Facebook can say they like me or they hate me. It's not what I do this for. I do this to touch people's lives.
Yes.
I do this to empower people.
Yes.
And the fact is that there aren't many of me in the world.
They're not.
So you cannot be the last.
Yes.
Right? And that's the legacy and heritage. That's the continuum that we have to make. And yes, money is a byproduct of the things we do, but you reinvest it to protect the future of the things you do. So my material is in the National Archives of the United Kingdom and, believe it or not, America.
So, speaking of future, what does the future look like for you right now?
That spaceship you've got right there on the card. So that's something called
Starship.
Starship Home.
Oh, so this isn't just a cool car, this is actually happening.
Oh, yeah.
That is so we see
Studies
What?
So I got
We're on the
Rolls-Royce
streets.
into space. I got Rolls-Royce start their space program.
Wow.
What? We don't have no more time.
We don't have it.
Hold on, so wait.
I have one more question.
Wait, hold on. Because I have to ask this because Governor Paterson just found out that you're a black man. What my question behind this is, I'm thinking of the timeline of when you were 14 in the UK and how you were able to maneuver. How were you able to maneuver as a black man in that space?
So here's the key. He said, how are you able to maneuver as a black man in this space?
Yes.
First of all, I know I'm black. Period. Look in the mirror every day.
You know.
But primarily, I'm human. Okay? And the thing is, facing all the injustices I had to face, I grew up in what you call the projects. I had to happy. I also played on bomb sites with literal bombers. You guys never had.
That was your playground.
That was my playground. It was just after World War II, and live bombs were still there. And I lost a few friends in that. So I know my own mortality, okay? But what I wanted, when I did the Millennium Broadcast, which was the world's biggest ever global broadcast, won't be another one like it for another 1,000 years. I was at the helm of it. I was one of the chief executives, and I had to look after the Americas as well.
Wow.
And I remember one quick thing, I'll wrap up, but they didn't want the native people involved in that global broadcast, because, you know, the calendar, 2000, all that. And I said, but this thing was so big that it's about all our humanity. And that's what my Starship Hope represents. Because you have to look up, and the only way we are going to save ourselves as a people is if we look at saving the entire planet. We were the first, but we won't be the last.
Yes. Yes. Wow. Look, I know people can Google you and everything, but where can people find out more about what you're doing?
Poor Reginald Boehner.
One more quick question.
And then Governor Paterson. And then Larry.
Okay, one more quick question. So when you bring up hope, I think it's a great transition into how do you both finally gay in every day?
Yes.
Yeah. Don't we just say it? Go.
But how do you find the joy in every day to move forward?
I think the joy of every day is that no 2 days are alike.
Yeah.
You know, 2 leaves or snowflakes are alike. So there's always something exciting. There's always something that's going on that's going to become part of your day that you probably had no idea was ever going to come. Like the day I grew up as Lieutenant Governor of New York, and probably one out of every 20,000 people would recognize me.
Yeah.
By the end of the day, they were showing my face around the world. So you never know how these days are going to end, and that's what makes living so exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's seriously. How about you, Mr. Jervis? We'd like to hear your response to that.
What makes my day is a smile. If I meet somebody like the two of you that just greet me with a smile, that's it. Yeah. Smile is the most universal language in the world. That just being recognized as it. So that's my day in my day.
Yay!
So thank you so much. I want to give a shout out to Essential, quenching our thirst during this broadcast, and the amazing Shore Mike, who's been capturing all this great history, this legacy talk, this heritage talk. We are so fortunate to be able to have this conversation with you, and I look forward to talking to you some more.
And I have some breaking news.
What's the breaking news?
Terry Jervis's viewership is just going to 4.6.
Okay. Thank you so much. And as I always say, stay focused, positive, and productive. Peace.
Thank you.
What a show! Wow!
Yeah.